So good morning students. Today we are going to learn a topic. Okay, the topic is procedural writing. Okay, the topic is procedural writing. So what's in the procedure? Have you heard the word procedure before? Yeah, we heard that word in science. Okay, science subjects. Okay, so procedure means doing a thing in the right order, the right sequence. Okay, step by step doing something. That is known as procedure. So mostly we heard this word in experiments, science experiments, procedure of this experiment. So procedure means step by step you want to do an experiment, then only you will get a proper solution, the proper answer, okay, the proper result. If you fail to do an experiment step by step, in the sense you won't get proper solution, proper result. So procedure means doing step by step, doing something in a step by step manner. Okay, procedure means step by step organized manner. Procedure means step by step organized way of doing something. So procedural writing. A procedure means a step-by-step organized way of doing something. Procedural writing refers to writing a series of precise, sequenced steps that explain to the readers how to do something. For example, science experiment. Okay, procedural writing means doing something in a step by step. It is organized way of doing something. Okay, organized way of doing something. Mostly we will use this procedure in science experiments. We need to follow some certain steps in a certain order, so that only we can get the proper results in that experiment. So procedural writing means doing step by step in an organized way to get the proper solution or proper result. Okay, for example, science experiment. Below is the graphic organizer used to write a procedure on how to make 2 cups of tea. Okay, so the purpose is to make 2 cups of tea. So materials are required. So what are the materials required to make a tea? Yeah, milk, water, sugar, yes, then ginger, tea leaves, stove, tea cups. Okay. So, materials are required: milk, water, tea leaves, sugar, ginger, vessel, strainer, stove and teacups. Okay. So, first is pour 1 cup of water into a vessel and put the vessel on the stove. Next, turn on the stove and bring the water to boil. While waiting for the water to boil, peel and grate 1 inch of ginger. Add the grated ginger to the water. Add a teaspoon of tea leaves. Let the water boil for a minute. Add 1 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Let the tea boil for 2 minutes. Turn off the flame. When the tea rises, pour the tea into teacups using a strainer. Okay. So, this is the proper procedure to make a tea. Step by step procedure to make a tea. Whether you will get tea at once? No. You need to follow these steps. One by one you need to follow these steps. First you need to keep the vessel on the stove. You need to switch on the stove. Boil the water. You need to wait for the water to boil. Peel and grate the ginger, 1 inch of ginger, and add those ginger into the water. Again tea leaves, then allow them to boil. Then add 2 tablespoons, 1 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Then again you need to wait for the tea to boil. Next, turn off the flame, filter and pour in the teacups and serve it. Okay, this is the exact way to make a cup of tea. So, procedure means following certain steps, and organized way of doing something. If you miss a single step, in the sense you won't get the proper result. So, mostly we use this procedural writing in experiments, procedure in experiments. So science experiments. So in science experiments we need to follow every steps. If you skip any steps, means you won't get the proper result. To get proper results, we need to follow the procedure properly. Okay. Procedure means a step by step organized way of doing something. Procedural writing refers to writing a series of precise, sequenced steps that explain to the readers how to do something. For example, a science experiment. Below is the graphic organizer used to write a procedure on how to make 2 cups of tea. Okay, purpose to make 2 cups of tea. Materials required: milk, water, tea leaves, sugar, ginger, vessel, strainer, stove and teacups. So pour 1 cup of water into the vessel and put the vessel on the stove. Turn on the stove and bring the water to boil. While waiting for the water to boil, peel and grate 1 inch of ginger. Add the grated ginger to the water. Add a teaspoon of tea leaves. Let the water to boil for a minute. Add 1 cup of milk and 2 cups of sugar. Let the tea boil for 2 minutes. Turn off the flame when the tea rises. Pour the tea into the teacups using a strainer. So this is the procedure. To make 2 cups of tea. Okay. So next is checklist. Okay. So now you completed procedural writing. So next one is you need to check whether you wrote the procedures correctly. So for that one you need to check that work using a checklist. Okay, some questions. So from some questions you need to answer yes or no so that you can find whether you write the procedure properly. Okay. So here two types of review is there. One is self-review and another one is peer review. Okay. Self-review and peer review. Self-review means reviewing your own work, okay, whatever you wrote. As peer review is reviewing your friend or your partner's work, okay. So self-review means reviewing your own work. That is, if I review my own work means that is self-reviewing. If I review your work means it is peer review, okay. So checking my own work, that is checking our own work is known as self-review checklist, and checking your friend's work is known as peer review and checklist. Okay. So self-review checklist. Use the checklist given below to review your procedure and enhance it. So on following these steps, okay, on following these steps, you can check your own procedural writing, and if you see any mistakes in the sense, you can enhance it. Okay, check and enhance it. The first one is, does my procedure follow the format? Okay, does your procedure follow the format? So already we saw a format. So whether your procedure follow those format. Next is, are all the sentences related to the topic or the steps included. So the second you need to check whether all the sentences are related to your given topic and whether you wrote every single step, every steps, okay, whether you skip any steps. If you find everything perfect, just put tick, that is yes, or else put no, that is cross, okay. The third one is, are my sentences crisp, whether your sentences are short and crisp, okay, that is whether your sentence is short and understandable. Have I used transition words, all the verbs present tense, whether your verbs are in present tense, okay, you need to check. Or the material specific and precise, whether you wrote everything, the materials required in specific and precise, short and clearly, okay. So self-review checklist. So the next one is peer review, that is reviewing your partner's work, okay. That is, use a checklist given below to review your partner's work. Are the capitalization and punctuation correct? Whether your friend wrote capital letters properly, uses capital letter properly, or they use punctuations properly. Or the spellings correct, whether he or she used spellings properly, okay. Have nouns been used in correct plural or singular form, whether they used correct plural or singular form of noun, whether they mistakenly wrote anything. So if it is perfect, you need to put yes, and it is wrong in the sense, you need to put no. And you need to give your comments in the comment box. Is the procedure is easy to understand, whether the procedure is very easy to understand. So these are the checklist steps, okay. So the steps to review your partner's work. So today we saw procedural writing check and two checklist. Okay, that is self-review checklist and peer review checklist. So procedural writing means writing step by step in an organized way to get a proper result. Okay, so it should be precise and clear and in correct sequence. Okay, order. So mostly we use this procedural writing in science experiments. Okay. So here also they gave an example, that is how to make 2 cups of tea. Okay. Next is checklist. That is first one is self-review checklist. Reviewing your own procedure, checking your own procedural writing. Okay. Next is checking your friend's procedural writing. So in first one you need to follow some steps. Okay. Answer some questions. That is, does my procedure follow the format? Or all the sentences related to the topic? Or all the steps included? Or my sentence crisp? Have I used transition words? Or all the verbs in present tense? Or the materials specific and precise? Okay. If the answer is yes, just put a tick. If it is no, put cross. Okay. Next is peer review. Peer review means reviewing your partner's work. That is, are the capitalization and punctuation is correct? Or the spelling is correct? Have nouns been used in correct plural form or singular form? Are there no personal pronouns? Is their procedure easy to understand? Okay. So in today's class we learned a single topic, a simple easy topic, that is procedural writing, and how to check the procedure of your own and your peer, that is your friends. Okay. So I hope you understand this topic. In next class we can deal with another one topic. Okay. Thank you, students.